Everybody, welcome to today's show. Welcome to Advocate Information Highway. I'm your host, Anthony Lorito-Duke, and we have a really interesting topic for today's show. But before I get into that, I want to say to all of my fans out there that I'm so sorry I didn't host my shows last week, but I had some serious medical issues going on. So I apologize about that. And so, anyway, we have a really important topic for today's show, in which it is pro-Palestinian protesters were in front of the White House and nothing was done to them. So let's get right into this. You know, uh, ICE is being sent out without warrants to go after people, as you all know, right? That's what's been going on. But nothing is done to these pro-Palestinian protesters. Nothing. And they were in front of the White House and nothing was done to them. Nothing. That doesn't make any sense. I've said it before in prior episodes. Send ICE to go after these pro-Palestinian protesters. And for any pro-Palestinian protester that's not a US citizen, that's not here legally, report their rear ends. And any pro-Palestinian protester that is a United States citizen, put their rear ends in a federal prison. Seriously. And and if any of these pro-Palestinian protesters are collecting government benefits, pick them right off of it. Pick them off of it. And here's another thing I really want people to think about. All these pro-Palestinian protesters here in the United States, for any of them that are kids, why aren't they in school? Why aren't they in school? Seriously. And for all the pro-Palestinian protesters that are in the adult age here in the United States, why aren't their rear ends at work? Seriously, honestly, just think about it. Think about it. I mean, maybe it's just me. I don't know. But you got to think about it. And like I said, get ICE to go after these pro-Palestinian protesters. And here's another thing. I was asked today a question, and this person asked me that for any type of protester, I'm not saying pro-Palestinian, any type of protesters, should cars be allowed to plow right through them if these protesters are blocking traffic? And here was my response. I've said it at least a gazillion times. Protesters should not be blocking streets. They should not be doing that. If you want to have parades or protests or whatever, get your city government papers to approve for you guys to block off sections of a street or whatever, you know, and do things the right way. But if you're not getting the city paperwork to say you got the okay to block off these streets and whatever to have your parade or whatever it is that may be. If you don't have those papers, people are trying to get to school, to work. 911 has to get through, you know, and so in my own personal opinion, because like you see a lot of these protesters, these pro-Palestinian protesters, they're sitting Indian style, like this, in the middle of the street, blocking traffic and everything. Come on, you have no right to do that. You got no right to do that. So, in my personal opinion, people have every right to plow right through these protesters. Yeah, as you see a lot of these protesters, they're jumping on the hoods of cars, on the roof of cars, and everything else. Come on. So yes, these people have a right, in my opinion, to plow right through these protesters. In my opinion, you got no right to block traffic. End of story. End of story. Seriously, honestly, especially if these people are jumping on the cars and everything, you know, the driver's lives are in danger. I mean, come on. Seriously, honestly. So there's my answer. But anyways, I want to remind all my fans out there about my website, African Information Highway. The link to there is AIHNY.com. Again, that's AIHNY.com. You guys could check out all the pages on there. And so with that, take care, everybody. Bye.